All right, so now we had 56, 61, and 63. 56, 1 minus sine squared over 1 minus sine equals cosecant of x plus 1 over cosecant of x. All right, first step, what is 1 minus sine squared equal to, Seth? Cosine squared. So cosine squared of x over 1 minus sine of x equals cosecant of x plus 1 over cosecant of x. All right, so I have a subtraction on the bottom in the denominator, and addition in the numerator. No addition here, no addition or subtraction here. So I have to think, what magic word? Conjugate. So I'm going to have to multiply by the conjugate of my denominator, 1 plus sine of x. 1 plus sine of x. So if I do the conjugate down here, I get 1 minus sine squared of x, which, I just had that up here. So I know that's going to turn into cosine squared. So I know it's going to cancel. So I'm just going to leave this cosine squared without distributing it through the 1 plus sine of x. Next, 1 minus sine squared is cosine squared. That should be a 1 plus sine of x there. Sorry about that. So I know sines have something to do with cosecants, right? Cosecant is a reciprocal of sine. So I need to get a cosecant on the denominator. So that's like 1 over sine of x. So if I multiply the denominator times 1 over sine of x, because my denominator is really 1. And if I multiply my numerator by 1 over sine of x, then I get 1 over sine of x plus sine of x over sine of x over 1 over sine of x. And we all know that 1 over sine of x is equal to the cosecant of x. Easy. Next, 61. 1 over cosecant of x minus cotangent of x equals 1 plus cosine of x over sine of x. Denominator has subtraction, no addition or subtraction in the numerator. We have addition in the numerator, no addition or subtraction in the denominator. So I'll multiply by the conjugate. Cosecant of x plus cotangent of x. Now, some of you may have turned this into 1 over sine of x and done all that first. That's fine if you did that way. But I'll just go this way. So you got cosecant of x plus cotangent of x over cosecant squared of x minus cotangent squared of x. What's cosecant squared minus cotangent squared? Chuck's saying it's 1. How many believe Chuck? Somebody said sure over there. Macy's going, yeah. Some of you are just going, yeah. Yes, yeah, believe Chuck, because Chuck is right. Cosecant squared minus cotangent squared is 1. So cosecant is 1 over sine of x. Cotangent is cosine over sine of x. And cosecant minus cotangent is 1. And so the 1, basically, anything over 1 cancels. And then combine these, it's 1 plus cosine of x over sine of x, and boom, we are done already. Okay? So you just got to know when to use conjugates to help you out. (63) cosecant of x plus 1 over cosecant of x minus 1 equals sine of x plus 1 over sine of x minus 1. Now, you say, well, there's a minus sign in my denominator, a plus sign in my numerator, so I multiply by the conjugate. Not so fast, my friends, because we have a plus sign up here, minus sign down here, minus sign down here. Don't do any conjugates here, okay? We're not trying to turn this minus sign into a plus sign up here. So I'm going to rewrite this, and this is actually one of the simpler ones that you've had all assignment. 1 over sine of x plus 1 over sine of x minus 1 equals sine of x plus 1 over sine of x minus 1. Now, what do we do on the top? What do we do on the bottom? Just all we have to do is multiply by sine of x on the top, sine of x on the bottom. We get sine of x over sine of x plus sine of x over sine of x over sine of x minus sine of x equals sine of x plus 1 over sine of x minus 1. So sine of x over sine of x is 1 plus sine of x, 1 minus sine of x. Whoa, did I write that wrong originally? Yes, I did originally. I wrote it wrong. Okay, so those are the 3 problems that were due. That's all of the trig identities that we're going to do for right now. So what are we doing today? Well, today we have a chapter review worksheet that you're going to do, that you're just going to or not chapter review, sections 3.1, 3.2 review worksheet that you're going to do. Tomorrow in class, since all the juniors are gone, we're just going to go over that worksheet is all, okay? And then on Tuesday, we'll take the quiz over 3.1 to 3.2, okay? Sure, I can post that to Google Classroom, the video of me going over it. All right, and then on Tuesday after the quiz, then we'll start on cosine double or some formulas things of a majig. Sum and difference identities of cosines. We'll start on that on Tuesday. And then Thursday, we'll do sum and difference of tangents. And then Friday, we'll just keep moving. Okay? So we'll get back to a normal pace next week. We'll do 1 section on Tuesday, 1 section on Thursday, 1 section on Friday. So back to moving again. All right. So just to refresh your memories, because I know some of you have awful memories. If the tangent of x equals, let's say negative 3/8, and we're from 3 pi over 2 is less than x, which is less than 2 pi. And you're supposed to find the sine, the cosine, the cosecant, the secant, and the cotangent. This seems like forever ago, doesn't it? Yeah, and it's only one section ago. Section 3.1, because we just finished 3.2. So, what's the easiest to find out of all of these? Cotangent of x. What's cotangent of x going to be? Negative 8 over 3. Okay, so we got that. Next, what do we find? Cosecant. No. I would do secant myself. I would do secant myself because I know tangent squared of x plus 1 equals secant squared of x. So tangent squared is negative 3/8 squared plus 1 equals secant squared of x. What's negative 3/8 squared? I hear whispers. No, it's positive 9/64. Because when you square a negative, it's a positive. And you're going to say, but my graphing calculator just told me it's negative. Well, you didn't put parentheses around it before you squared it. Yeah, but the negative's got to be on the inside of parentheses there, buddy. All right. So 1 is the same as 64 over 64. So we get 73 over 64. So then, to find the secant, we just square root it. So it's the square root of 73 over 8. So once we get secant, what do we find? Cosine. So 8 over the square root of 73 equals cosine. But we don't leave it like that. We have to multiply top and bottom by the square root of 73. So cosine is 8 square root of 73 over 73. Now what do we want to find? Because I don't want to mess with this and go sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1 because that's just complicated. We'll have big numbers. So what else could we do? We could do what Macy wanted to do and find cosecant. How do we find cosecant? Cosecant squared of x equals cotangent squared of x plus 1. What's negative 8/3 squared? 64/9 plus another 9/9 is 73/9, which is the square root of 73 over 3. So then the sign, we just flip that over. So for the sine of x, it's 3 over the square root of 73. So we multiply top and bottom by square root of 73. So the sine is 3 square root of 73 over 73. Are we done? Does it look good? No, we are not done. What did we forget? The positive or negative signs. What quadrant are we in?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
4. 4.
No, it's 3.
4. It's 4. It's 4. It's 5.
Why did I answer 4?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's 4.
It is 4. Close enough. Yeah. It's 4. So, what is positive in quadrant 4? Cosine. So then there would also be secant. Cosine and secant are positive. So sine and cosecant are negative. And then cotangent and tangent are both negative. Okay? So you got to be careful of that. Okay? Also on the worksheet today, or the sample quiz, whatever you want to call it, we'll have some foiling, like cosecant of x plus 3 times cosecant of x minus 4. You just FOIL and solve. Easy peasy. If we have cosine squared of x minus 9, and you're told to factor it, how do we factor that? What's the factoring pattern called? Difference of squares. Cosine of x plus 3 and cosine of x minus 3. Okay? How will we factor that? The AC method. Take 5 times 12, which is 60. Factors of 60 are 1 and 60, 2 and 30, 3, 20, 4, 15, 5, 12, 6, and 10. 6 and 10. So we take 5 sine of x minus 6 times 5 sine of x minus 10. Why did I go minus 6 and minus 10? They have to multiply to be positive. They have to add up to be a negative. This one, the greatest common factor is 1. This one, the greatest common factor is 5. So it's 5 sine of x minus 6. That doesn't look like a 5. Now it does. 5 sine of x minus 6 and sine of x minus 2. Okay? So factoring. And then we'll have some identities on there. So I think that's probably enough for today. So I'll let you get started with that. And then, like I say, tomorrow we'll go over it. So then we should be ready to go. I'm not going to go over the entire worksheet on Tuesday, juniors. Okay? You're responsible to look over the video of me going over the worksheet. Okay? You can always pause the video.
Yeah. It's like Remington said, we don't have study hall on Monday either.
We don't?
No, we have another study hall. Why do they take away our study halls? Why can't they take away our class?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,